Hello, I'm USA Today bestselling author, storyteller, and cheeky wench, Susan Tisdale. I've been writing since I was a little girl and published my first novel in December of 2011. Since then, I've sold more than 750,000 copies of my books around the world and have hit the USA Today bestsellers list twice. I'm here to share tips, tricks, and advice on writing, cover art, and indie publishing in general. So grab your favorite beverage, pen and paper, and gird your loins, babies. This could get a little bumpy. Hi, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. We are waiting for people to join us. Hi, Rose. Oh, that's a crime. That's a travesty. It really is. For those of you who are here, if you could hit the like button, the subscribe button, notification button, and share, that would be awesome. And are my lips matching what I'm saying? Because it looks like I have a lag. Hi, Pammy. Tiny little square instead of taking up the big screen. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Well, poopy pies. There we go. How do I... Exit full screen. Okay. I don't want to make any notes. Hello, 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 hello. Is this better? Hi, Pammy. Hi, Carolyn. Oh, hi, honey. Hello, everybody. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Christina. Oh my gosh, Christina says she just sat through a Zoom meeting and she didn't realize the slides were not showing until the presentation was over. Sounds like she and I could have been separated at birth. Must be my tablet. Yeah, it's probably your tablet, honey. So, do you hear me okay? Do I sound all right? I'm going to assume yes. Hi, Bobby, my favorite lady. Oops. Bobby sent me a gift. Oh. A circadian light. How cool is that? It's not plugged in right now. I had to unplug it to get it over here. But this is like really cool. I come in here in the morning, turn that puppy on. Hi, Rose. And it's just lots of really nice bright light. So how is everyone? For those of you who are just joining us, if you could say hello in the chat so I know who's here. Because I use a system that doesn't tell me who's all here. You have a small one? Yeah, I never would have thought to purchase that were it not for Bobby. She's just awesome. Right? Definitely. I had my blood drawn today. And waiting for test results on that on vitamin D levels. That was another... Well, Shannon suggested it. Bobby suggested it first. Then Shannon, not knowing Bobby had suggested it, she suggested it. So, yeah. Cholesterol. My cholesterol is through the roof, apparently. I'm not too worried about it. I take niacin for that because I can't... All the cholesterol meds make me sick. Herself needs some pick-me-ups. I need all the pick-me-ups I can get right now. Yep, I take B12. My B12 levels are fine and my thyroid's fine, but I still take the B12. I just, yeah, I've got a whole drawer full of stuff I take. Doing good. Kicked the kidney bug and finished meds. Was on 2 antibiotics as my body likes to be immune to meds. Oh, Rose, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Rose. Thyroid levels can really mess with the body. Oh, they can. That I do know. I've got friends who suffer with that. So, anyway, how is everyone? Is everything okay? Did everybody have a good week? Anybody write today? If you did write today, put your word count in the chat. Because I have a surprise for whoever had the biggest word count for the day or the week or whatever. I did a graphic. I did a little yay. So I'm pretty excited about that. So everyone had a good week then? Is having a good week? Yay, Christina! This is for Christina. You go, Christina. Go, Christina. Go, Christina. Oh, you're doing nano? I've never done nano. Aurora Rose said she had intention of writing today. LOL, I did some last night, about 5 words. Well, that's 5 that I've done. Hi, you're welcome. You're welcome, Christina. I told you all I would do something for fireworks, so, or some kind of celebration for those who wrote today and who had really high word counts and all that good, fun, happy stuff. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share. Yeah, thanks, Swifty Nifty. So I said, oh, Bobby said, my heart is overjoyed by the technology skills you were showing me tonight. Bobby is like a tech goddess, okay? Whenever I have an issue, Bobby and Shannon both. But Bobby, when it comes to like spreadsheets and technology that way, she is, in fact, I have her, I will prove this to you. Let me see. Because this is how I have Bobby in my phone. I think you'll all get a kick out of this. Oh, I don't want to show your number though. I'm going to cover this up. I have her in my... Bobby, if I accidentally call you, it's an accident. I have her in as the as author and Excel goddess extraordinaire. And Shannon, man, when it comes to the YouTube stuff, Shannon is my girl. That's why she's the producer of my Wednesday nights with the Wench. Couldn't do this without her. So, Shannon, I love you and I thank you. And congratulations on the wedding. Shannon's daughter, one of Shannon's daughters, got married this weekend, and it was a lovely affair, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there. So, hi, Diana. So anyway, I have updates on the adult ADHD stuff, right? So I took my test, and that was like 45 minutes. And, I don't know if I passed or failed, but I definitely have ADHD. Blew my mind. I just thought I was quirky. I just thought I was a quirky individual. And I was telling my daughter Debbie that last night. Well, first I texted her and said, you know, I got my ADHD results back. Does anyone want to guess what it said? Debbie's response was, they're going to put you on the highest dose of Adderall possible. Smart ass. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely quirky. But I also have ADHD and anxiety, but those two things go hand in hand is what I'm learning. So I see a physicatrist on Monday. So a little video conference, and I will find out then what they are going to do. Trying not to use my glasses because of the glare. I did order some new glasses. Hello to everybody coming in. Yeah, anxiety sucks. It really does. Ordered some new glasses off Zilul or something like that. Some fun blue blocker glasses. So those should be here next week. So I'm hoping they'll be here by next Wednesday so that I can actually put my readers on and read what you all are saying. Carolyn says, I knew we were soul sisters. Well, actually, Carolyn, here's the problem. adult ADHD and ADHD in children present totally differently. My problem is I don't have enough energy when I need it. Take a lot of naps. These were the questions that they asked, not on the test, but that my doctor asked. Do you take a lot of naps? I'm the queen of napping. I have the gold blanket and bronze pillow to prove it. Do you tend to procrastinate? Oh, yes, like crazy. I'm the queen of procrastination. I got the crown and the staff to prove that. Do you have lots of piles of paper at home? Multiple piles of papers that only you know what's in them? I'm like, well, I have the piles of papers, but I couldn't tell you what's in any of them. Do you sometimes stare off into space for, more than a second? I'm like, doesn't everybody do that? I just call it eye lock, like my eyeballs freeze. I don't know. So anyway, I'm hoping that we can figure out what to do about this. Yes, I'm willing to take medication at this point. I'm willing to sacrifice goats, burn sage, French kiss a pig, whatever I gotta do to get rid of this. Yeah, I used to get in trouble all the time for daydreaming when I was in school. Or American Rose, Diana. I used to get in trouble all the time for daydreaming. That was always on my report cards. She's too quiet and she daydreams too much. But back then, there was no such thing. Nobody knew what ADHD was. I've spent half a lifetime with adult ADHD. It has positive side. You just have to find it. Yes. Swifty Nifty, I love you. Don't French kiss a pig. They're muddy. Like I said, I'm willing to do anything at this point. Anything within reason. Anything that's at least somewhat legal. Because I'm done. I'm just stick a fork and be done. I can't do this anymore. So anyway, I'm looking forward to Monday. Part of me just wishes I could, go to bed now and just wake up and have it be Monday morning. So anyway, so tonight is Q&A night, question and answers. You all ask me the questions and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. And you can ask me pretty much anything except how old I really am and what I really weigh. Christina, she talks too much and no matter where she sits, she talks and she gets stuff done too quickly and then is bored. Well, yeah, I didn't talk, but I was the one who got stuff done too quickly. And yeah, I was bored. I was really bored in the school. Really bored in school. If it was a subject that I didn't like, I wasn't going to do it. But if it was a subject I loved, like art, I aced it. If it was a class I loved, it was straight A's. Go figure. But we could start Q&A at any time. Just go ahead and type your questions into the chat, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. Diana says, I'm thinking about changing my channel name to my name so it's not limiting me to just doing videos about design. That might not be a bad idea. Maybe others can chime in. Maybe Shannon, she's the YouTube goddess. And you are talking about your YouTube channel, right, Diana? That might not be a bad idea. Now, I have this channel, which is, Susan Tisdale author or whatever it is. And then I have my Crime Watch with Susan Tisdale channel. So I actually have two. And I'm trying to keep those two things separate. I love art too. I do. Yes, your YouTube. Okay. That might not be a bad idea, but maybe ask somebody who is way more experienced in this than I am. I really don't have a freaking clue what I'm doing. I'm just winging it, people. I'm just winging it. And if it wasn't for Shannon, God knows where I'd be with this. I probably would have stopped it by now. Oh. So what questions do y'all have? Lizzie's Grand Adventures. That can be taken several different ways, Diana, but I'm not going to say anything. I have a community post so far. No videos. Well, you really have to have videos, I think, to be successful on YouTube, so... Shannon, I would have to look at stats, views, etc. to give you a good answer. Well, you two can chat then. But as it pertains to writing or anything else like that, does anybody have any questions tonight that they would like to ask me? Because that's what tonight is. It's Q&A. because we do get a lot of questions. And then sometimes I have to answer them later. How do you decide how many scenes for a chapter? I don't, Diana. I don't pay attention to that. I don't count things. I don't count pages. I don't count chapters. I don't count scenes. The only thing that I actually count is, or pay attention to, is my word count. And then 8 times out of 10, I really don't care what my word count is, as long as it's over a certain threshold, unless I'm doing a novella with an anthology or whatever. Then I am forced to pay attention to word count. But I just let the story tell me what it needs. It tells me when to begin, and when to end, and I just don't pay attention to the number of chapters, scenes, anything like that. I know that's a piss poor. It needs as many as it needs. I don't know if it's just I'm intuitive that way, or not, or if I'm just, insane. That's a succinct possibility. Carolyn says, what are you working on? I am not working on a damn thing right now. I haven't worked on anything in a month, except when I was on the prednisone, and that was some Orbellis. I've been trying to write this book for months and months and months. Sorry, I gotta take this off. I'm a little warm. Months and months and months, and it's just not working. So, with this ADHD thing, I am like praying on my knees nightly, praying that we can figure out how to best treat it so that I can extricate my head from my arse and get this book done. But I have lots of books that I want to write, lots of books that I've started and haven't finished, and then Orbellis. Shannon says I do 8 to 12 beats per chapter between 2,000 and 3,000 a chapter. Cool. And I don't pay attention to that. Because I write, and I think it's really genre specific. With historical romance, our readers really like the extra big books, like over 125,000 words, which is normally what I write. But with everything that I've gone through in the last couple years, it's just been damn near impossible. And I struggle with novellas, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I figure if I'm honest with how I'm feeling, then someone else who might be struggling and not knowing what to do or how to cope or how to deal or whatever, that it can help them. Do you start from the beginning or just write individual scenes? Oh, God, I have got to put my readers on, sorry. Do you start from the beginning or just write the parts you want to write? Nope, always start at the beginning. There was one time when I did write a book from the middle, but as soon as I got the middle done, I went back to the beginning. So, hi Ashley. Ashley says, in terms of word counts and individual scenes, how long is the average scene? I don't freaking know. Sometimes I feel like my scenes are too short and I'm not sure if I should add some more detail. Well, I've actually had an entire chapter that was less than a half a page long, but it was an important chapter. And it needed to be written and there was nowhere else to put it. And I didn't want it, as a scene in a previous or following chapter. So that's what I did. My advice, Ashley, would be to read it out loud to yourself. Don't let the computer read it for you. Read it out loud and pay attention to how it sounds in your ear, how it sounds in your mind and in your heart. Okay? Again, genre specific. It depends on what kind of details you think you need to add. Do you need to set the scene better? Do you need to describe the scene better? What season are you in? What's the weather like? That type of thing. I just don't, again, the chapter just tells me what it needs. Probably a dumb question. No such thing as a dumb question. How do you know when to shift from one chapter to a new chapter? Is it when scene changes or mood? I can never tell with my WIPs and been trying to figure it out. Well, again, I'm pretty intuitive on that. I've had some really big chapters that my editor actually suggested I break it up and make it 2 chapters or 3 chapters because they were really ginormous. So my advice would be to take the advice of your editor, whatever they say. But usually I try to end on not a cliffhanger, but on something fun or sad or exciting or a little bit of a intrigue. Again, it ends when it ends. And I know that sucks. I just really need to have my editor on here some night so she can answer these questions because she's better at it than I am. But again, Rose, I would suggest that you read it out loud to yourself, whatever last scene that you've just finished, and decide if you need to just stop at that chapter and start a new one. I just look at it like movie scenes. You know how some people, how screenplay writers and directors, they have storyboards. That's kind of how I imagine it in my brain when I'm thinking about it and writing it at the same time. I'm imagining the scene in my head, and it's like, is this a good place to fade to black and come back? Okay. I like my idea for my book, and I've got some things thought out, but I'm struggling getting started. I feel disconnected from it. Then you need to start with a new book, Diana. That's what I do. Trust me, if you're not feeling the book, this has happened to me, in all full disclosure, in all honesty, your readers will know. If you are not connected to it, your readers are going to know. So just start another book. And 9 times out of 10, what will happen is that you'll be, happily writing along on the new story. And then all of a sudden you realize where that other book that you tucked away, where it needs to start. Okay. That happens to me a lot. Maybe it's not time for you to write that book yet. I've got books like that on my computer where it's like, nope, I've got to finish these other things because they are connected to this book. So, you're very welcome. What did Carolyn say? Carolyn Lampman. I end the chapter on an emotional high, an emotional low, or in the middle of a scene. That's a cliffhanger. Exactly. See, Carolyn, this is why you are a better writer than I am even. I love Carolyn's style of writing. It's just absolutely magnificent. But yeah, you end it on an emotional low or an emotional high or in the middle of a scene, and then you kind of make that little chapter cliffhanger, and it makes your reader want to turn that page and start the next chapter, and that's the goal. Karen is awesome. I love her. Like instinct, you know when to keep the reader viewer hooked and reading in a way. Yes. Yep. All you can do is put the words down. And sometimes I think we stress too much as we're writing the book. Sometimes you just need to purge it. You just need to get all the words out. Just get them on that paper. Just write and write and write and write. And then when you're done or think you're done, you go back and you fix it. Yeah, it is the ADHD for me. Oh, it's the ADHD for you. I love you, Carolyn Lampman. I do. You are adorable. Shit. Now I forgot what I was saying. Yep, that's the ADHD. Even my grandson. Oh my gosh, I picked him up today from school. And I said, so did your mom tell you I got the test results back for my ADHD? And he said, why did you even need to take a test? I already knew that, Grandma. He's 12. And he diagnosed me. Good God. When I write, just write, and it's one huge chunk. I don't do chapters along the way, or I get sidetracked. Yep, that can happen too. Whatever works for you, right? But sometimes the story is just flowing, and you can't stop, and you just got to get it all down, and then you can go back and fix it where it needs fixtures, where it needs fixed. Diana says, I wondered about that. I haven't had a romance for years, but I read a lot of romances. I thought maybe I have a disconnect because of feeling like an imposter or something. Do not feel like an imposter. I'm giving you permission. Do not do that. I'm telling you, you are not an imposter, right? You're just not. And you deserve to be here just like everybody else is. Okay? If writing is what you love, and you're doing it because you love it, because you have a passion for it, because you want to share your stories with people, or just, purge the voices that are in your head, that's what an author is, right? If you're only doing it because you want to make a fast buck, then go somewhere else. because that's not how this works. So no, you're not an imposter. You're a real author. You're here trying to learn. You pay attention to what others do. You read, and try to improve and hone your craft every day. That's what's important. That's what sets you apart from everybody else. There are authors out there who have lots of books and are very successful, but they don't think they need any help in the writing department. And I beg to differ with them, because I think we all need help with the writing department. I think sometimes we just get on this train of writing, this highway or interstate or whatever, and that's all we're doing is writing and writing and writing and writing. And we forget to pay attention to the actual craft, to the actual story. Dinah says, I have a story in me. The other day I was thinking about an ex I had who I never really got over, and started thinking about a story around that. Go for it, sister. That's what I say. Go for it. Just do it. Write them all down. That's all you could do. And that's what I've been doing. I've been carrying around notebooks with me, the Rocket notebook. And then I didn't take it today because I was really needed paper and pencil today. So I had appointments today. I had to go get blood drawn. Look at the bruise. Can you see that? I look like a heroin addict, right? And then this is the other one. But anyway, yeah, just write them down. Write them down, write them down, write them down. Or record them. If you don't, like if you're in the car, just open up your notes, your voice notes on your phone, if your phone has that. And yeah, it didn't hurt that bad. But anyway, open up your notes, your voice recorder or whatever on your telephone, on your cell phone, and purge the ideas that way. And then when you do get home or to a place where you can actually write them down, I've done this, play it back and just write down what you had on your voice notes. I'm sure there is another word for it, not voice notes, but that's what I call it. Yeah. Dinah says she carries her planner everywhere. I should add a notebook to it. Yeah. Here's one that I have that I really like. Where'd it go? This is a planner. Is this the one? I have several. But some of these little planners, where is the one I really, really, really liked? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is a planner. Oh yeah, I got paid. So this is the planner that I love. And it came with all these fun little stickers, right? All sorts of fun little stickers. And in the front part, it's your day planner, right? And you write in your dates, but at the end, it's got all these blank pages. All these blank pages where you can write down your ideas. So, and it's not that big. It's a little bit heavy, but that's okay. I like something with heft because I'm not a gentle soul, not a gentle person. But what I do with mine, and because of the ADHD, I never ever came back to it. I spent hours and hours and hours working this out and putting in little flags. You know, this book gets this color and that book. It was the whole year. I had the whole year planned out, right? Nope. Down the turlet. I just want to be able to stick with something and finish it. But I also have this little planner. I'm not a huge fan of this one, but it was already dated. And it too has like one blank page in the back, and I really didn't care for that. Oh, there's the little thing. I like planners that have these little rubber bands around them. And I have a new planner. I think I just buy these damn things because they make me feel like I'm being organized. But I got another pink one. Forgot to date it. But I've been using it as a journal because in the front of this one, they have lots of blank lined pages. And then, maybe that's the whole thing. Oh yeah, this is just a journal. You can date it. Anyway, I need to get over my journal and planner addiction. Buy a planner and forget all about it. Yep, it is a very bad and expensive habit. Dinah says I can't plan like that either. I'm supposed to keep track of my pain days and stuff, but that lasted half a week. I keep forgetting to mark them down. Yep. Same here. I just forget stuff all the time. It drives Kevin nuts sometimes. But it's like I can't help it. It's not like I'm forgetting on purpose. It's just I've got so much stuff in my brain all the time, and I don't understand how anybody cannot think of something. How their minds can be completely blank. They can just sit here and watch TV and not have 10,000 thoughts in their head, or they can just sit there and not hear voices in their head. I just don't understand that. Some people don't have that inner voice, and my daughter, I would yell at her, would you think before you do something? Would you think before you act? Would you think before you speak? And she would tell me, Mom, I can't. I don't know how to do that. I don't have a voice. And I'm like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And then a couple years ago, I learned that that's a real thing. Not everybody hears voices in their heads. Shocking, right? It is shocking. Oh, but those people are apparently very good with languages. So Emily's really good with foreign languages. So anyway, what other questions do y'all have? It is 7:31. We're on for another 29 minutes. Buying planners is an ADHD thing. It helps you think you're going to get organized. Really works. Yeah. Yep. But my husband does help because we have a shared calendar. And so when I go to schedule something, a doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, hair appointment, or whatever, all his appointments are on here, so we don't collide with one another. And he will occasionally, once a week, come in and say, "Hey, any appointments you forgot to put in the phone? Damn it. How about characters? How do you decide their names and so on?" Well, for me, I use a website. I just go to Google and type in 14th century Scottish historical names for men or for women. And then there's this Herald thing. It's just a couple of websites that I use, and I just read through, and it's like, oh, that one sounds cool. Oh, that one sounds pretty in my head. And then I realize, usually not until Brad goes to record it, that in my head it's been pronounced. I've been pronouncing it incorrectly, but it sounded pretty in my head. So, sometimes the name just hits me. It's like, oh man, I want to write a character with that name. And I'm sure if I wrote contemporary, I would probably feel the same way. But the voice, the name has to fit the character, right? So pay attention to who this character is. Are you in historical times, contemporary times? If you're in contemporary times, what does he do for a living? What are his habits? What are his likes and dislikes, or hers? What do they love? What do they hate? And the name just really has to fit the character that you've developed in your head. Now, a lot of times I've got the name before I have the character. Go figure. So that's how I do it. I try to get names that match their characters. Now, in the beginning, I didn't pay attention to that. I just picked names I thought were pretty. But it's worked. Aurora Rose says, I sometimes go by their backgrounds, like if they are from another country. Yeah. Where are they from? That's very important. Where are they from, and what time are you in? What era? Where are you at, basically? So that's how I do it. And it always, Melissa Foster, I just love her. She writes contemporary, and she posted on Facebook one day, this was a couple years ago, help me name this character. And I'm like, well, I need more information, Melissa. Like, how old is he? Where's he from? What does he do for a living? What's his favorite color? What's his favorite food? And I just had this list, and she's just responded with an, oh my God, and, laugh. So, do you figure out their background and inner journey first before you choose the story idea? Nope. It all goes hand in hand, all goes together. I come up with the story idea, and usually most of my plotting, like 99% of it, is done at bedtime. When I go to lay down, I play out the story in my head like a movie, and I decide, would this work better, or would this be exciting? So it's all happens at once. I know what my story is usually. And then it's like, okay, who are my characters? And it kind of all just happens at once. But I would probably start with you have to make sure that the two things blend, right? So I can't say that you should start one before you start the other. To me, it would make more sense to have a story idea first and then develop your characters around this story idea. Because if you have this well thought out, well planned out character, where the hell are you going to put him or her? Where are you going to put them? Where are they going to go? This person, this character that you have planned out and thought out and spent days and hours, figuring out what their love language is and who they are and what they love and what they despise and what they want, only to find out that's not going to work in this story. So I think you have to start with the story idea first. Just my 2 cents. Water. I had to give up my sweet tea. But it's helped. I do feel better. I've been drinking lots of water because I want my cholesterol level to come down. I'm trying to do it as naturally as possible, so that's why I'm doing the niacin, and I've cut out red meat, and I'm scrolling again. Next question! Yes, I'm feeling better. I need more coffee. In the beginning of your writing journey, did you ever read something back that you wrote and felt discouraged because it wasn't as good as you thought it was when you were writing it? Yeah. I think that's perfectly normal. Yeah. Like I went back and read some of Layden's Daughter. That was the first book I published, right? And it's like, oh my God, how did people love this book so much? Because it's got over 1,000 views. Layden's Daughter does. How many does it have? I haven't looked in a while. Now my interest is piqued. And yes, we're going off the rails. Just bear with me. We are taking a little side road. There she is. Oh, where's Layden's? It has 1,299 reviews. And it's got a 4.5-star rating. And that was the first book I wrote. So, yes, I know that book could be better. I know it can. There would be lots of things that I would change in that book, but I don't see any reason to go back and change it. I need to focus. Yeah, that's what I need is a detour sign. Detour. What the hell was I talking about? God, this is killing me, people. Killing me. That'll make Bobby happy. I changed my frame. Detour. Yeah, sometimes the character just tells you their story. Exactly. Yeah, I know that, but I know in my heart, you see, I know in my heart that my writing has gotten better and better and better and better. And that is always my goal. When I'm writing a story, it's got to be better than the last one I just published, right? That is always my goal. Dinah says, I have a short story that I apparently wrote and forgot about where a mother is telling her older son about how his parents met in their romance. It's just the very beginning of it. Cool. Go for it. Write it. Write it. Do it. Do it. I need a voice changer. Do we have voice changers in here? That would be fun. I could do my Darth Vader. Just write the damn book. That was Vicky Kelleher. God, I love her. Victoria Sack. Sorry. I'm going to have her on some night so she could tell you her story. But this is the early days of my career, and she had messaged me, I love your writing, blah, blah, blah. I have this story idea in my head, and how do I do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, first you got to write the damn book. So that's my recommendation. Sit down and just write the damn book. Quit thinking about it. Just sit down and write it. And so she did. And that was a few dozen books ago. So I'm really happy for her. I love Vicky. I do. Victoria and Zach. I do. Maybe I'm connecting more with the story now. I also thought about writing the story of my dad. It's not a romance, but more like memorial. Then write it. Even if that one never gets published. It doesn't matter if it ever gets published or not. Just writing it sometimes is the most important thing. You should have merch that says just write the damn book. I've got merch over on my Cheeky Wench website. No, I don't know what the link is. I'll have to get it. But yeah, I can come up with something. Just write the damn book. I can do that. I can do that. Shannon, remind me to do that. Bobby, remind me to do that. Ashley, Aurora, Diana, Christina, just remind me to do that, okay? And with a squirrel on the front, right? That's my new mascot. It's the frickin' squirrel. That's my mascot. Maybe a coffee cup with a squirrel. A squirrel in the coffee cup. Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry, people. You know, I know y'all love me because nobody else would put up with this. No, just some nuts. Oh, you were too funny. You were too funny, Bobby. Anyway, next question. Who is texting me? Hang on. Oh, okay. I got to do this. It's really important. It's my Aunt Tammy. Okay, sorry. It's my Aunt Tammy, and I just love her. Oh my God, what movie was Chevy Chase in with the wife who bought the squirrel? Well, she didn't buy a squirrel. Was that the Christmas, National Lampoon's Christmas, where the squirrel was hidden in the tree and it jumped out? Funny Farm. Oh, Funny Farm? I don't think I've seen that. I'm thinking of other questions, but my brain is hurting. I hear you, sister. Do you remember that? Nope, I've never seen Funny Farm. I need to get out more. Yeah, I know. Oh. So, anyway, it's just been a good one. You need to watch it. I've never seen it. I've never even heard of it. I know. Kind of off topic, but were you able to make the chill you were talking about the other day? The chili. No, I did not. I did not make the chili because I had to give up red meat. And by God, I am not going to eat chili, red chili made with turkey or chicken. I just am not going to do it. And then it ended up we didn't have the grandkids over. Everybody was just really tired Sunday for some weird reason. So we did not do Sunday dinner, so I have to do it next Sunday. And I'll probably make chicken chili then. That's with chicken and chicken stock and white beans, like cannellini beans or however you say it. And yeah, it's just really, really yummy. And I'll make some homemade cornbread. But we really have to get the kids over. So funny, they retired to the country so he could... Oh, yes! Now I remember that. See, I don't remember the title, but I remember the... Yeah, that one was funny. Christina and I vote that your assignment is to watch Funny Farm with the grandkids. You have extra... Yeah, Shannon's got extra chicken. Shannon's boys bought dinner tonight, and she says they're going to be eating chicken for a week. They got all this chicken and mashed potatoes and gravy and biscuits home, and it was like buckets of it, you know, enough for like 30 people, right? And then they got really mad because they forgot the coleslaw. It just reminds me of that episode of MASH where they go to all that trouble to get these ribs sent from back home, and they forgot to order coleslaw. Yeah, that was a funny movie. Yeah. Oh, it is good chili. It's really good chili. Catering sizes. That's what Shannon said. They brought home catering sizes of chicken. That poor girl. She's surrounded by all men. And her mother-in-law. But her mother-in-law's a sweetie, so. Anyway, what other questions do y'all have? It was a MASH episode. Exactly. Yeah. KFC coleslaw is yummy, but I can't eat KFC anymore. I haven't been able to in a long time. I don't know if it's our local KFC or whatever, but it's been years since I've had it. Years. Just years. So what other questions do y'all have? Anything about covers? Marketing? Which I'm not really good at. Lay it on me, babies. Lay it on me. I just love doing this, so I'm having fun. Except my eyes are getting all goopy. So if you see me going like this a lot, it's because I got gay eyes. Do you guys want to talk about covers? Oh, do you ever write your stories out by hand? Yes, I do. I did that with Ian's Rose. I wrote Ian's Rose in like 3 different locations in 2 different manners. That was when Malaya was born, and she was in the NICU. Remember, my granddaughter was born, and she was what, 1 pound, 12.5 ounces? Something like that. She was tiny. She was a micro preemie. So I would go to her NICU every afternoon so Emily could go get Carter from school and stuff. And I would stay there until Malaya's dad, Victor, came. So I was there for a few hours. I wrote half of Ian's Rose in that NICU. And then a quarter of it I wrote at my island at night, just longhand. And then I would just add those longhand chapters or whatever to Scribner. I booked an audiobook narrator today, but now I question if it'll be done in time. Well, Bobby, do you have a hard and fast deadline? Do you want to release it when the book goes live? Do you have the book up for pre-order yet? Call me tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Bobby, how much do you pay an hour? I have no clue what to charge. For what? For a narrator? You don't get to decide. They do. But I pay my narrator. He gets, if that's what you're talking about, Christina, my narrator gets $400 per finished hour. So it's based on, it's not based on how long it takes him to record it. It's based on how big the book is when it's finished and ready to be uploaded. So, but there are others out there that are less expensive. But I have worked with Brad. Oh, that's a story that we have to that's a story that we will save. Wee Williams Woman audiobook. That's a story we will save when we are all together somewhere and having drinks. And I will tell you about the $10,000 nightmare on Wee Williams Woman. You have no idea what she's going to charge yet? Well, that's a good question to ask up front, Bobby. Is he at least cute? Brad? I met Brad for the first time a few years ago. I was down in somewhere in Tennessee, maybe. Yeah, Tennessee. I think it was Tennessee for Romancing the Smokies. I love that. I loved Romancing the Smokies. It was a lot of fun. So I was supposed to get together with Brad and Victoria Zach, and we were all going to go out to dinner, right? Because I don't have dinner alone with men I'm not married to. Okay, call me old-fashioned, whatever. It's just, I'm just not comfortable doing that. He is involved, yes. Not married, but he's got someone special. But anyway, Vicky called me at the last minute and says, we have to take my daughter to the hospital. She's got a fever of 105. And I'm like, oh, well, Brad was already almost there. And I couldn't just say Brad. So I went ahead and met him. Oh my God. All night long, I just sit here, just listening to him talk. He's so good looking. And I had to remind myself a couple times, you're a happily married woman, you're a happily married woman, you're a happily married woman. And he is the sweetest guy. Oh my God, people, you have no idea. Brad is one of the sweetest men you will ever meet in your entire life. I just love him. My last book at 100,000 words ended up being 10 hours of recorded time. That sounds about right. It's a true story. But Kevin has talked to Brad on the phone before. I mean, you know, he's a friend, but if Pam's still here, she gets to talk to Brad. Yeah, sexy soul voice. My street team, when I still had a street team, I was doing auditions, and then I would they would do like, 1 or 2 or 3 minute little auditions, the different narrators, and I was sharing the samples in my street team group page over on Facebook, and within 15 seconds of hearing Brad, every one of them, he is the one, and they nicknamed him Mr. Sexy. And if it's... Are those still thing, street teams? I don't know, Bobby. I don't think so. I have my Susan's Official Kilt Inspectors now, and that's where I draw my beta readers from 99% of the time. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. But you're a member of that. Oh, hi, Pammy. So tell the group, you get to talk to Brad on the phone. Because Pam proof listens to the audiobooks, because this is how stupid I am. One of the books, so Brad had done, I don't know, 5 or 6 books for me. 5 or 6 books? I don't know. And he would send them to me, I would download them, and I would listen to them, right? I thought I was listening to make sure it sounded good. Oh no, that's not what an audiobook prover does. You're supposed to follow the actual written word with what he's saying. I never did that. I just listened to it. So now I've hired Pam, and she does that for me too. She's also my bookkeeper. And if she wasn't my sister, she would probably strangle me, or would have by now. But I didn't know that's what you were supposed to do. I just listened. It's like, oh my God, this sounds so wonderful. I love you, Brad. Yes, I think, Bobby, that you met Pammy in California. The first time I took her out there. God, that was the funnest trip. It was me and my cousin Pam, who is my sister, like my sister. Closest thing to a sister I'll ever have. And my daughter Debbie. And we had the absolute, to this day, that was the best trip I ever took. Hands down, best trip ever. I was so stinking sick. I had bronchitis. And I had this horrible, horrible cough. And we were out there for the Indie Scribe conference. And we got a room at the Crown Plaza in Redondo Beach. I got it for a deal. I got a deal on it. And it faced the ocean, and it had these sliding glass doors that went out to the little tiny deck. Oh yeah, that was fun. But anyway, I was so sick and coughing so hard I couldn't lay down. So I had to sleep sitting up in a chair with a pillow clutched to my chest like this. So every time I would cough, the seals in the ocean would start barking. And then Pam and Debbie would say, your people are calling to you. They're hearkening to their leader. Just all sorts of stuff like that, which would make me laugh, which would make me cough even more. But we couldn't go home. I'd spent way too much money to go to Indie Scribe. So then we rented a car, and Pam hates mountains. She just, do not get Pam high. Well, don't get her up high. Don't get her up on a mountain. We'll just say that. Anyway, we rent this car, and we decide we're going to drive up the coast. So I'm driving. Pam's in the back seat. Debbie's in the front seat. And we get to Malibu, and I'm like, I want to see what's up in the mountains, right? So we get up on this mountain we're driving, and it's not really even a mountain. It's a foothill, okay? Pammy remembers this. So we get up on this foothill. It's not even up that high, people. And all of a sudden in the backseat I hear Pammy say, and I'm going to clean this up, but you need to get me off this effing mountain, and you need to get me off this effing mountain now. She's like, Susie, I can't do mountains, I can't do mountains, I can't do mountains. So, of course, Debbie and I are just laughing our asses off. And Diana says she hates heights too. The last time I was on a plane, I prayed the whole way that the attendant had to tell me to calm down. I love flying. It doesn't bother me anymore. But oh my God, we drove up to Santa Barbara and decided that's where all the really rich people live. Then on the way back, what was the name of that restaurant, Pam? Oh my God, the best Italian food. The absolute best. And second time, it was just Pam and I. We decided we're going to drive to San Diego. Okay. So all this, we're in this traffic, and I'm like, I can't believe this. This is like what, 11 o'clock in the morning? This is not rush hour, but the traffic is outrageous. We could not figure out why it was bumper to bumper, right? Leaving the LA area, Redondo Beach. We always stay at Redondo Beach at the Crown. It's our thing. And we're driving, and it was just like, it was taking friggin' forever. I mean, on the map, San Diego was what, 45 minutes away, Pam? Something silly like that. It was not that far from where we were at. It took us forever to get there. So we stop at this rest area, and we're like, oh, we hear the ocean. So after we, peed, washed our hands and everything, we're like, oh, let's go see the ocean. Let's go take some pictures. So we're on this path with this beautiful tall grass. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And it's just waving in the wind. And all of a sudden, Pam says, Susie, you need to read that. And it was warning us about rattlesnakes. I don't think I've moved that fast since I was 20. Needless to say, we didn't go look at the ocean. So then we get to San Diego. And that's when we found out why it took us 4.5 or 5 hours to go from point A to point B, is because people were evacuating because of the fires. And I didn't even realize it was smoke. I'm like, where is this fog coming from? Oh, God. It was so much fun. And we had the best dinner. Oh, San Diego. We went to old San Diego. Oh my God, it was so much fun. It was an absolute blast. And when we go to Redondo Beach, we always eat at Ruby's. If you ever get to go to Redondo Beach, eat at Ruby's. They have the best chocolate shakes, the best burgers, the best fries, the best everything. Oh my God, it is so good. Oh, thank you, Shannon. What else do we like to do? Oh, there's a pier in Redondo Beach that we like to go walk along. The haunted hotel. Yes, it was a haunted hotel in San Diego, in this old part of San Diego. Did they call it Old Town or something like that in San Diego? But this hotel was gorgeous, and it was the best. I think that was probably the best meal I've ever had, was from there. Diana says her brother was stationed in San Diego when he was in the Navy. Lucky, lucky dog. I can't wait to go back. My friend Catherine Bybee lives there, and I keep saying, I'm going to come out and see you. I'm going to come out and see you. She's like, well, the guest room's ready. But yeah, Pam, we've got to take another trip to California. We just have to. Even if we're not out there for IndieScribe, we still need to do it. Because it's just going on a trip. I mean, I love traveling with my husband. Do not get me wrong. Just don't get me wrong. I love my husband. I love going on trips with my husband. I love doing things with my husband. But, and I've had to warn him, because next year we want to take Pam to Wales with us, right? And I'm constantly warning my husband, okay, when Pam and I get together, I'm not the same person that you know and love. I laugh a lot. There's a lot of dirty jokes and dirty innuendos. And a lot of cussing. So, you have been warned. I want to go stay a month at Moonstone Beach. I don't know where that is, Bobby. I don't know. I've never heard of that. I wanted to go watch the Navy SEALs on the beach, but wasn't allowed. Well, that sucks. That just sucks. Sometimes need a girls' trip out. Yes, definitely. It's just, oh, it's in California? Cool beans. But I love traveling with Pam. She is the most fun. She just really is. She's an absolute blast. Oh, and that first trip out, that was the first time she got to step into the ocean. So that was pretty cool. Carolyn says, rattlesnakes and mountains. Yep, that's Wyoming. Something tells me you won't be coming for a visit. Pam probably won't. I will. Doesn't bother me. I really don't like the idea of snakes. But the mountains don't bother me. I love the mountains. I do. But yeah, I can't wait to go somewhere with Pam again. Because it's just way too much fun. We get silly. Like when we were little girls. And when we were both, back in the day when I had collagen in a neck and I was skinny. And we could both sit in the same chair at the same time. That was always so much fun. Oogling's okay. They oogle us. We can flip it around and oogle them. Okay. Anyway, it is almost 8 o'clock. If you don't have any more questions, I'm sorry that I went off, detour. I got to get a detour with a squirrel on a coffee cup or something. But anyway, if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to sign off. Any questions you do have, you can just email them to me, Susan@SusanTisdale.com, and I will answer them for you. But I don't know if we'll be here Friday night. I've had a lot of stuff going on Friday night. Okay. Holy crap. Allison missed it. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, I should be here Friday night and do the, wild wenchy Friday nights. I forget what we call it. You all know what we call it. And we'll talk about all sorts of things. I should be here. If not, I will put a post on the YouTube page letting you know. And but I'll definitely be here next week, next Wednesday. I think here's how we'll do it. You all email me with a topic that you would really, really, really like me to cover. Again, Susan@SusanTisdale.com. And do that within the next 24 to 48 hours. And I will decide which one of those topics we can cover next week. Okay? Haha, you have the squirrel from Ice Age on your desk. I've got so much crap on my desk, it's not even funny. I clean it, and it's beautiful and it's pristine. And then within a couple days, it's disorganized again. I just really got to stop doing that. Tonight was fun. I had a great time tonight. Yes, share the channel with your friends. Invite people. We do need subscribers. That is the goal. I'd like to have 1,000 subscribers by January, or maybe February. That would be absolutely awesome. I would love that. So, for those of you who haven't joined us before, you can see all my previous lives and watch them and take notes. We've talked about scene setting and characters and plotting and all sorts of different things. So, yeah, it takes 5 minutes for mine to get messy again too. And we do Friday night lives. I do. I just didn't do one last week because, yeah, I just didn't. Anyway, I love you all. I think you're all just flipping awesome. I really, truly do. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit like and share and subscribe. Do all the YouTube-y things like Emily D. Baker says. Anyway, I love you all. I can't wait to see you Friday night. And if not Friday night, then definitely next Wednesday night. And just everybody be safe. And may your muse sing to you sweetly. And may you get all the beautiful words down. All right? Stay warm, stay safe, and just have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye, everybody.